Hey guys, welcome back. We got some more Project F stuff going on today. I guess just like a lot of discussing what we're going to be doing, but also some actual work.
Random stuff.
Oh yeah, get that super clean.
Gotta check out the super clean.
We had a thing with Super Clean about a giveaway recently. Like we were talking about it, but we haven't gotten back
we
to
forgot
them.
about that.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't forget. We just kind of like.
We'll have to talk about that.
Yeah,
Anyways,
we will have to talk about that.
So
not in this video.
Today, our discussion today, or like some of it, we were looking at several things, probably like 2 or 3 topics.
Yeah, wastegate. That's like the most important topic right now because like
we need to figure out how we're going to modify this. If you look at this, our original plan was to have, wastegate here where it can stock on it and then make another one off here. Garner reminded us that there's like ABS module right here, so it probably interferes. So we'd probably need it off at an angle if we were to do it like this. And then this one entirely we'd need to cut and then move kind of like right here or something. Yeah. Another option is the 60 mil that we got.
Yeah, like we already have this, so like this is the cheapest option at that point. Not too worried about buying 2 38mm wastegates, but like, we're just basically exploring all the options that we have and not going just, selling ourselves on one route.
Unfortunately, we have, kind of have already. We did buy, 38mm flange and the pipe and stuff, but we can keep that as spares.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it because it was basically $40 for those two. And like, that's not a lot of money to lose, especially with 2 38mm wastegates are as expensive each one as this one was. So it's like
they've gone up in price too, which is crazy. I'm sure those 38s
was like $50 and now it's 80. But then like the 38mm wastegates I was finding were like 50, 60, $70. So essentially it would be like $150 for like 2 38mm. So it would still be significant price increase over just like this, which I already have.
Yeah, one problem with it is this is 60 mil, so it's actually like 2.5 inches, and our piping is only 2 1/4, so that wouldn't exactly fit on it. We would need to do a reducer type thing exactly like this for it. But my thought was from the bottom, like kind of again how we were kind of wanting to plan it. Originally we're going to have it go straight down, but that's just not feasible. This is not absolutely ideal with exhaust placement for the wastegate. There's better ways to do it. This is just one thought, so let me know if it's like critically wrong and we're just, it's not going to be effective. But I think it's such a big wastegate, it won't be a problem. But what we do is we hole saw this and then get the reducer and then have this somewhere off, maybe a bit farther, closer to where the bellow is there. But either way, like somewhere in there, that way we'll have a big ass wastegate and it'll clear everything. We should probably put the turbo back on here.
Yeah, we should for that.
We did take off the flange because that's our second topic is the flange, but let's go ahead and get the turbo on real fast so it's
okay, we'll be right back.
Better to visualize for you guys because I actually like this idea, how it's going to be routed if we do this. So, let me know if it's horribly wrong. We can stick with the dual 38mm, which they'd probably flow more typically, overall, but
with the boots. We don't even have that on there.
Yeah, we gotta get the flange on, so okay. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we got the turbo back on here. So this will just help visualize a little bit more how we're thinking it should go.
Ow.
Oh, that's very sharp.
Yeah.
So it would go up higher since it would sit in there, but just off this. I might even hit the pipe there. We'll have to figure out that.
Maybe
we can add some length to it too. Like I was thinking, or I was just talking off camera. This is also 2 1/4. This is 2 1/4. If we hold sawed up, it would probably damage most of it. So we might need to get like a 2-inch pipe to 2 1/4 so we don't mess up anything higher than this section here, and then have a reducer that goes to it, and then we'll have another reducer which does the opposite and expands to 2 1/2 for this.
That looks like that won't complicate anything.
Yeah,
because like if we have it this low.
And Tristan also brought up a point, we could V-band halfway through here just so it's easier to take apart. We already do have a V-band clamp on this, but having something like that would be easier to remove.
Oh,
and this could also, if you look at it, guys, can pretty much recirculate right back into a stock exhaust. You just need 290s or something, or
because this is gonna be coming.
That's true. Yeah, but this would be sitting back farther like that. But I see what you mean. Yeah, if we had it off like that, it might interfere. Man, there's a lot to think about with this because we're doing something that's just like completely custom.
Yeah, completely custom. It's kind of like so weird. Yeah, this is so fat that like this is gonna be kind of a problem.
Could even have it like maybe like not down, but little bit better of an angle so it doesn't interfere.
You know, if it did come down, that would be like another pipe to have to, you know, get into this.
Recirculate. That'd be kind of hard.
That would be kind of hard,
also,
but I think we could do it. Is, you know, if we just kept this V-band.
Tristan also mentioned that he has the Camaro balancer, but having the balancer come off if we had the extra pipe sitting right here might interfere a little bit, but with the Camaro balancer, I think we'd have enough space to pull off the balancer if needed.
Yeah, my whole...
We would need to test it.
Yeah, my whole thing with this kit is that I want it to be as easiest as possible to work with on the car, but then so I'm afraid of like not being able to pull the balancer or get to some of these sensors with this also added there. But honestly, I can kind of see myself just taking from V-band to V-band completely off anyways to work on this.
Unbolt the down pipe, the rear V-band, and then the two front V-bands, and everything will come off as one.
Like, I need to buy a V-band for, like, right here because I want to also take this to this off completely if I'm working on the engine so that it won't be an issue.
There's a lot to consider, so if you guys have recommendations in the comments below, go ahead and, you know, leave us some recommendations for sure.
So, like, I'm not opposed to using this at all. However, it just looks like it's going to be a pain to, like, recirculate this. But I definitely think we could do it. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think that anything in this area gets used. This right here. Besides that,
we'll have the power steering pump around there, but...
Oh, yes.
But we can take...
that won't come out.
Yeah, we can take that off, too.
That won't interfere with us.
Yeah, if we need a service power steering, we just take off the wastegate.
So if we have it, like, here, I think
Also, having a big blue wastegate right off the front would be really cool looking.
When this makes a 90 right here, you know... This could come out. Oh yeah, it could go right into it. Actually, instead of making this bend.
What we do is again have another 90 and hold it like that. It'd probably have to be so low. It wouldn't. I don't know. We're just thinking about fucking possibilities here.
I kind of like that. I just don't know if that if we'd have clearance issues with that. Oh my god.
You could also do it like this, where if we were able to put it like that, but it would have to do another bend. But it could go right into the exhaust. I like the idea of putting it here. Other option, like we were just talking about, which is what we were literally going to do before today. We just started looking at this brainstorming, is the 238 mils.
Yeah.
Which I think 238 mils right off each collector or each header would be better overall for.
I think it will be better for flow, for sure. There's no question that this is not going to be the best flowing thing ever. But we just need to make a decision on if we want to fabricate this and modify it, or if we just want to fabricate these. It all depends on what's easier. I really don't care on the money cost.
I think this will be easier because it's just one pipe we have to deal with.
Instead of two.
Yeah, because we have to deal with two flanges.
Because two pipes come with like two more.
Cutting that, repairing that side because we need to patch up the hole, and then doing the two flanges, and then the wastegates, and then two wastegate pipes recirculating. So
that is just double the amount of work, possibly.
Yeah.
Because like these flanges won't take a lot of work, but it will take, you know, more effort in the long run than just this one guy. Mm-hmm. So I like the thought of like, let's see,
somehow mounting it straight down.
I don't know if down will be possible because
it'll be too tight of an angle.
So if we had enough room, essentially this could work.
That'd be really tough to do.
And then it would just go straight into the exhaust from there. So that would be easy at least. But this would not be easy at all.
That'd be really hard.
We'd have to pie cut, I think, at the best.
Just to see, but if it were right there, it'd be a really fucking tight angle to recirculate back directly into this.
It would be tight. Like,
it would be possible.
I think it would be possible.
Because this is not a very tight 90. No. So with a tighter 90, we might be able to do it, and even some pie cuts.
And then we could just get it really simply right in the base of this.
Yep.
Basically like that.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. Like, that would be really simple, but getting this made will be the hardest part about that, you know?
Also, we don't even have the pipes because we need the 2-inch to 2 1/4 to 2.5.
Yeah, so what we need to probably do tonight is maybe buy that reducer.
Go buy that stainless reducer from that guy on eBay.
Yeah, same guy, because, I mean, he did a good job.
He made a custom one for us, so...
Yeah, so it's pretty good. The other thing we wanted to talk about is, like, hood clearance is going to be a definite issue. We already knew that before buying this adapter.
And since we spaced the turbo kit further out, that just
makes it worse.
Even less height with the roof angle. So what we want to do today, hopefully, is take off the T4 flange because we have a T4 to T3 adapter to the turbo. So now also, additionally, we'd have to have 2 gaskets that could potentially fail, and also add just a small bit more height. What we want to do is we want to cut off the T4 flange and just weld on this T3 adapter, which works as a flange. That'll give us over half an inch of height off the top of the turbo back a little bit, so any little bit helps.
You know what we didn't think about? We didn't think about that when we made this.
I know. I was thinking about that too. It would lower it about,
which will be a problem. But that might not be a problem because like what we modify and make here, we can always pitch it to whatever angle we need.
Well, worst case, we can break these tacks and then cut
this shorter.
Yeah,
that's true. We're just gonna use the adapter as the new flange, and then just take this flange and throw it out, or keep it. Doesn't matter. But like, so we're just gonna get rid of about half an inch of room here, so that we want as much clearance as we possibly can get with this kit, because like we said, with the turbo bolted up, it already hit the hood before in a spot where we could cut the support out. Now that it's spaced differently, we actually have no idea where this is going to sit.
I actually think the GTX 3582R, the other turbo we have, has a thinner flange than this turbo does.
I think you're right.
So that might give us a little bit more hood clearance with
because that's the one that's going to live on the car.
Yeah. The final thing we wanted to talk about was we want to get a boost controller for this. So we're looking around. If you know any good like electronic boost controllers, let us know. We're looking at AEMs as well as, I mean, there's a Pro Sport boost controller, which we work with Pro Sport all the time. Right. So it'd naturally work out that way.
There's also that, what's the manufacturer that makes the watt box?
N2MB, but that's not for, that's only for Neons.
I would be interested in emailing them and seeing like...
That's true. They did say it was in production, and we are going to buy an N2MB watt box for the two-step and the no-lift shifting and, launch control.
Yeah, and they give you a discount if you buy both of them in one. So it's like, if we could get both of those, that would be cool.
Then all you'd have to do is have your auxiliary, app on your laptop, and it just works with the controller. It works with your throttle. It works by boost by gear. N2MB one looks very impressive and,
expensive, but cool.
All we would need is the solenoid. But one thing we're looking at is like if we had a 2-port wastegate, because we're looking at different configurations, and
which we do.
We originally had the nipple on top, but we tested it, and I'm glad we did, because had we not and we just sent it, we would have been putting boost pressure right on here, which would hold the wastegate shut.
Yeah.
Which would not allow any boost out, and it would just keep making boost until you pop the engine.
Just like Jim did, and a lot of other people, I'm sure. So we tested it, and...
It opens right up.
So yeah.
We have the lightest spring in here. It's 5 pounds because...
That we know of. Yeah.
That we know of, because we're not going to have much boost in this just to begin with tuning it, as well as trying to keep the T5 transmission alive.
Yeah, we want a T5. We want a T56 transmission eventually, and then probably a Ranger rear end.
Kind of just a 48.8 rear end. We'll get into that later, because
that's gonna be a fun thing.
One last thing to note: the pipe that we have for the crossover here, it really is a big gap now that I'm looking at it. So what we're going to do is we're going to break these tacks and just make this fit this pipe much better. Yeah, now that we have the turbo off, you can see right in there how big of a gap that is. So that is not ideal. So what we'll do is we'll break off probably both sides of this. And then what we need to do is this side, we need to cut it at an angle like that. Obviously not extreme like that, just something that'll match it. And then this has a little bit of slip in it, in and out. So we'll just pull this out a little bit so it'll just meet it perfectly, retack it, and go from there. We might do more, just depending how much we want to modify this. This could be a bit more improved, a bit more straight.
All right, guys, update.
Yep, so we got the pipe off. We broke the tacks on there. We're trying to make this smooth, so we got some more work to go there. I mean, that looks pretty straight, and we'll just need to...
Let me get the old flashlight. But yeah, it looks so much better, guys. Sorry.
But we're not done. If you look up here, you can see how off that would be. And we can bend the bellow a little bit, but trying to make this work while also, you can see the gap there?
Yep, bad gap.
So we can try, since this has like, half an inch of space.
Yeah, it looks like it actually has...
We just have to hold it with tape. And again, we did this, we didn't even tell you guys, but last video where we built this, we just brought the welding equipment over here, and Tristan held it while I tacked everything in place. So it's not unsafe. definitely not, because welding is, you know, you're not going to make it ground. But we still have to grind this a little bit, because even if we extend it, it touches, but it's not going to do it how we need it to. So this honestly will take like 2 hands, so we'll be back again. But I want to show you we got this back into 2 pieces.
Yeah, it's kind of a bitch.
Might even need to make something that's longer. I would hate to use this because we already have it, and we want to use it for the wastegate, but yeah, we'll see. I don't know. We'll figure it out, guys. We'll be back. Alright guys, in that time lapse you saw me go ahead and add just like a bunch more tacks. This gap is much better here, so we shouldn't have any problems doing that. I did unfortunately blow a really big fucking hole right in our reducer here, so I did grind it down. We'll figure out, we'll do some research on best ways to fill this type of stuff. If you guys know, you know, personally, let us know, give me some tips on how to fill up this hole. It is pretty big, which really freaking sucks. But, I mean, worst case scenario, what I think I'd do is just get a piece of stainless and put it in there, in the hole kind of, and then just tack around it or just fill it, thus covering the hole. So, I don't know. We have another bad hole over here like the very first one we did, so I guess we just need some info on how to fill some of these. So, not the end of the world. I don't think it's anything
I'm too worried about it.
Not something that can't be repaired, so. But this should all be together now. It flexes only because the bellows there, but this thing is one piece. We're going to go ahead and take this flange off, and we're going to, well, first take the whole front off, then take the adapter flange off, and then we're going to try cutting the T4 flange off, and we can try welding on this guy. All right, guys, so I went ahead and now that we had it off here, I added a bunch more tacks, so it's even stronger. You see the flex bellow. So now what we're going to do is we're going to try cutting the flange off here. So that will require the angle grinder. I have it in a spot where I can get the blade up. I won't begin to the corners just yet. We'll have to kind of figure those out once we have this off. We might need to, for the last part of it, do the hacksaw. So I'm going to give it a go and see how it goes here. And hopefully we don't mess this up. But
we'll put this on.
All right, we're gonna do more of this. It's already kind of through in some spots. It just need to kind of make sure it doesn't grab anything. And it seemed like there was kind of an issue right here where it was not getting all the way through. It was hitting that, you can see. So yeah, we're just gonna go and do this now. We'll be back once we have it off.
All right.
All right, guys. So just got the last part off.
I bet she's hot.
Yep, probably. I did kind of cut a little bit too much into there, so it wasn't seamless. Might need to re-weld that or just take it off. Take the whole level down.
I think we should just sand that whole bit and then weld in the new one.
Guys, we fabricate a bunch now, clearly. We need to get a belt sander, because if I could just put this on a belt sander and flatten it, that'd be so helpful.
Belt sander, freaking bandsaw.
I mean, this is stainless, so it'd probably take a while, but...
Like a bandsaw would have gotten this done in 2 seconds. Yeah. Why don't we buy a belt sander?
Yeah.
Like legitimately buy one.
Buy a Harbor Freight. Yeah. That's true. That'd be very helpful for just the fabrication stuff we do, because the front part here, this thing that says top, we sat there for like 30 minutes trying to angle grind it so it's flat. So guys, we're going to go ahead and clean this up and see what our options are with using this flange. Obviously, since it's T4 to T3 out, it's a little bit of complication, but we'll, you know, figure it out here. All right, guys, after tons of grinding and heating and bending and everything, we have now gotten it to where the flange will want to sit flat on it and just give us like good seal.
Yeah, we had to bend the pipe pretty significantly to make it work.
And now we got to kind of just get everything all squared away. There's still very, very, very small gaps, but it's something that I believe we can take care of.
Yeah, I think for sure.
I'll probably just come in from up here I'll just get it with my left hand and then tack it. Yeah, I can do that.
Is there something like some weighty we can put on there just so it doesn't move?
I want to be able to see it. I can't just trust that it's going to be, you know, where I need it.
That's fair. Okay, well, let me go plug in the welder and we'll...
Yeah, we'll be back, guys. Hopefully this works and all our work here was, you know...
Not for nothing.
Yeah.
That would suck.
Alright guys, so we got this all back together here. Unfortunately, you just cannot trust these clamps, these V-bands that we bought. I'll check the brand or whatever, but I mean, definitely user error on our side for probably over tightening them, but just not good design because both of them stripped the bolts in half. So this one broke the bolt in half. The other one, the bolt literally got seized on there and then just spun on the shaft, breaking the threads, and it couldn't get any more to come off, so I kind of had to cut it and then rebend it.
This is the one that actually looked good.
Yeah, but this one wasn't.
Yeah, the other one
didn't have long enough.
The other one completely just bent out, and Davis had to rebend it.
Yeah, kind of reconstruct it and find my own nut.
But that's all over with now. We're gonna get new clamps eventually, but we just need to do something short term to get this guy on there so we could see what it looked like.
Definitely was our fault for over tightening, but whatever. As far as I can tell, it didn't move the flange out any towards the throttle body, which we wanted to avoid, which is good. Maybe a couple mil, if anything, just given we had to kind of bend it a little bit. This side, since I tacked it, seems like it might have warped a little bit. This side was just not really wanting to get on that. Yeah. I think partly maybe because when we tacked it together, both V-bands were on, and with this, I think maybe we just overextended the bellow a little bit. Not overextended, but extended. That's why that side didn't really want to reach.
Yeah, and then we were able to like actually put it in place, and then but it just naturally wants to kind of come out.
Yeah, but with the V-band, it was able to, you know, kind of bend it where it needs to be.
So it shouldn't be a problem.
But all our problems that we were dealing with, you know, just kind of the angle at which this was coming in, the spacing for this, and then some hood clearance is much better because the top of the turbo actually used to be above the alternator, and looking at it now it looks like level. Yeah, it's about level or a little under.
Which we assume that we're still gonna have trouble. We assume that we're still gonna have like possibly more to do on the back of the hood, but this is a good step in the right direction.
Another thing I noticed, since the whole thing's lowered, it also makes our exhaust lowered a little bit, so we gain even a little bit more clearance to this because it's more down, and this is about as level as it was before on there. It's not like we lost any level. We could have tried fixing it because I did mention before turbo is kind of at an angle like that, but
we made it worse.
Maybe a little worse. I'm not convinced we made it worse.
But it's not like a problem anyways. At least it doesn't seem to be.
Yeah. I mean, just overall, I really regret blowing a hole in this. Hopefully we can fix that easily.
Yeah, everything is looking good. We're making more progress. I mean, we made negative progress and then fixed the progress. You know, got back to where we were.
Yeah, you got to take a couple steps back to make a step forward sometimes.
Yeah, it doesn't help that Davis really likes to get things perfect.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Honestly, I think a lot of people would just throw the kit together as is and just run it.
I think they would.
But when it comes to stuff like that I'm doing here, I really want it to be, you know, good and serviceable in the future. And you have it apart right now, so why not make it as best as it can be? Also,
I agree with that.
With more fitment, it'll make the welds better, and it'll just make the kit overall much better if we just take a little bit more effort into it.
That is true. I'm really happy that we decided to do this instead of run with the manifold how it was. So I'm glad we're making it our own. Like this looks epic.
This thing's custom. Alright guys, just like always, the GoPro yeets the last recording that I did. I really just got to start checking the footage before we just end, you know, recording, because this has happened like 3 or 4 times now. It's probably like the 4th time. Whatever. Hope you enjoyed the video. We're going to be picking up stuff tomorrow. We're going to be continue with the fabrication of the kit here. Just something we did a little bit off camera as we took off the right here. That was the old wastegate pipe. So we'll figure out how to patch that up. We are still waiting on my new welder, so once we get that, we'll be able to weld up the whole thing. Depending on how things go, we might start plumbing the wastegate stuff. That'd be pretty cool to do. But that's going to do it, guys. Be sure to check out some of our other videos. We got a lot of other builds on the channel. Leave a like on the video. It helps YouTube push, the content, which really helps us. And subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.